Love Muffins, it's Charla. I wanted to show you an example of a meal like you would make for your contest using the leftovers from last night's dinner that I couldn't put the video up for last night. So, I want to do this as quick as possible so you understand the difference between simple carbs, complex carbs, healthy fats, and proteins. There will be charts put up on the page momentarily as well. But I wanted you to kind of see what we're looking for the contest. And then I'm going to do this for the 21-day fix containers and a preview of 21-day fix later on today. So don't want to overwhelm you guys with information. So the meal I made for the family that I fed last night and for the person who was healing up from surgery was extremely nutrient dense. And that was on purpose because we want to make sure that we eat foods that decrease inflammation in our bodies and that give us good healing. So here's the thing. When you start putting up your stuff, you need to put up ways to make your water interesting. This is what I did last night. I made a big pitcher of kiwi, strawberry, orange spa water is what I call it. And lots of crushed ice that I bought a bag of at Sonic, actually. I don't know if you guys have that, but if you do, go grab a bag of it because it makes your drink so much better, in my opinion. And I also use it for my smoothies. So this is my Shakeology bottle. I don't use it for Shakeology because I use a blender, but I do drink 6 of these a day, and I keep my rubber bands around this. So this is how I measure my water every day, and I always put fruit in it. So this is a good tip, and whoever wins this contest will get one of these shaker cups. So that's a little incentive there. And that was the first thing that I did. And then I wanted to make sure that I had simple carbohydrates on the plate, complex carbohydrates on the plate, lean protein on the plate, and some healthy fat. And I wanted to give her a little treat and the boys a little treat as well. So I was going to do zoodles and meatballs, but because I was feeding some men, I wanted to make sure I had a really hearty meal. And so this is what our plate ended up looking like, and I'm going to kind of go over each component of it here and let you know what we have. So first things first. This is our simple carbohydrate along with some complex carbohydrates and a little bit of healthy fat. I had to split up my healthy fat to kind of meet my needs here when I put this meal together. But this is about 1.5 cups of spinach, a bunch of strawberries and blueberries, and that's where my simple carbs are. The spinach is a complex carb because it's got lots of fiber and very little sugar. Fruit is a simple carb. Your body breaks it down really quickly, and that glucose goes straight into your bloodstream. Even though it's a healthy, natural sugar, it's still going to raise your glucose. When your glucose is up, you store fat. So you got to limit those simple carbs. So simple carbohydrates, fruit, complex carbohydrates, spinach, little bit of healthy fat. I've got slivered almonds. I also have red onion, and I have just about a tablespoon of feta cheese on this, which is also a little bit of healthy fat and carbohydrates. So, but it's just a little bit, so you don't have to count it on its own. And then I have about a tablespoon of honey olive oil vinaigrette. So it's honey, Dijon mustard, a little bit of olive oil, and a little bit of white balsamic with some salt and pepper and some other seasonings. And I'll give you all these recipes too. But I dip my fork in it. I never use the whole amount. So that's a healthy fat as well. The olive oil is your healthy fat. Then I marinated some mushrooms, as you can see here. And those are super simple. I will give you the recipe, but that is a complex carbohydrate and a very low calorie one. All of those mushrooms are 40 calories. 40 calories. And they are so fibrous, and they're full of potassium. They're so nutrient dense, and they're so good for you. And they're great for mental health and mood swings, just by the way. So people that are sick or grumpy, and that was, yeah. The next thing on this plate, these right here are roasted butternut squash. And I just toss them with a little bit of coconut oil, very little, about a teaspoon, a big batch of them. So there may be 1/4 of teaspoon of oil here. And remember, our bodies know what to do with healthy fats and natural fats. Toss it with a little bit of olive oil, cayenne pepper, salt, and a little bit of cinnamon. So I like my food spicy. You can leave the cayenne pepper off of that. This family likes their food spicy too. So that's what I did with those. Roasted them in the oven, and easy, done. Very filling, better for you than a potato. And a potato is a simple carb. All right, and then right here, If you can see this deliciousness. Again, it's a little bit cold because these are my leftovers. This is my lunch today. This is 3 ounces, so 3 to 5 ounces of lean protein is what everybody needs at a meal. This is 3 ounces of beef tenderloin that I just roasted off. I browned and then roasted off in the oven. Very low fat, very, very nutrient dense, full of protein and iron, and so, so good for you. Don't be afraid of beef. Beef is like anything else. You've got to choose well. This is grass-fed beef. So I know that the cows that this came from were raised responsibly and humanely, and that's a big deal to me personally. The bigger deal to me also is, for my own sake, is that these were fed their natural diet. So they're not full of hormones, they're not full of medicine, they're not eating grain that they were never meant to eat. And so changing the muscle that I end up eating, which ends up messing with our livers, that's a much longer story, and causing metabolic disorders like diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, thyroid issues, mood disorders. So really, that's the reason I don't eat a lot of beef. It's expensive when you buy it grass-fed, but when I want a treat, I go for the beef. And so this was their plate, and it was delicious. Everybody was full because, you know, you're not going to go back and get a lot of seconds when you're eating that amount of bulk. This is 400 calories, folks. 400. Actually, a little bit less than that. 400 calories at McDonald's is a double cheeseburger. 400 calories at Taco Bell is 2 tacos. In fact, that's 500 calories. More than 500 calories. You're going to eat more than that when you go. And you're going to get a soda. And you're going to raise your blood sugar, and you're going to store it right on your belly. This is fuel. This is delicious fuel. This is what we're looking for the contest. Now, I promise you the last little bit of healthy fat that you get, and last little bit of simple carbohydrate that you get, this is dark chocolate. This is 1 serving of dark chocolate, and in this case, it's 30 calories of dark chocolate, full of antioxidants. It's got stevia to sweeten it instead of sugar, and so that's the reason it's so low cal, but it is so good for you. And it has healthy fat in it. This is Lily's. I get this at Whole Foods and at Sprouts, but this is Lily's brand, stevia sweetened chocolate. It has 15 grams of fat in it, but it's all healthy, antioxidant rich fat. And I eat dark chocolate every single day for my dessert, and I never miss a day. So clean eating is just so hard, and it's just so, it's just not satisfying. I'm sorry. You have no excuses. Now show me what you can do. Win this contest, people. See you soon.